Boys and girls, I want you to find the paper that looks like this in your packet, and then you're going to need a pencil to help you fill in this paper. On this paper, we're going to be practicing alphabetical order. And so when we do this paper, we're actually going to do this together because we're going to learn about alphabetical order. And I know a lot of you already know how to do this, but it never hurts to practice it again. And so on this paper, we're going to go through and do it together, and then we're going to practice it again later when you do your Words Their Way activity with Mrs. Church. So the first thing that I'm going to do, because I'm not at school and I don't have an alphabet on the wall for me to look at. Maybe you have a chart at home or something you can look at, but if you do not, then it's going to be helpful for you to do the following thing, which is write your ABCs at the top of your paper or right at the top of this chart. So I'm going to write all my letters. Kind of ran out of room at the end there. Just kind of wrap them around. My R got a little messed up, but that's okay. So if you have an eraser, you can fix that, but this is a marker, so I can't. So hopefully you can see that. So now I have my alphabet written at the top of my paper, and that's going to help me because when you do alphabetical order, you got to know the alphabet, don't you? So when I'm looking at the words in this box, I have to figure out which word's going to go first. So in the alphabet, the letter A comes first. So I look through and I see we're going to be looking at the first letter in each of these words. When you do alphabetical order, you got to look at the first letter in each of the words. Do I have any words that start with an A? And as I'm looking, I do not see any words that start with an A. So then I move on to the letter B. So then I look to see, do I have anything that starts with the letter B? I don't. So I'm moving on to letter C. Looking to see. I don't have any C letters. D. Don't see any E. F. Oh, I see a couple, actually three. So I've got this one, and this one. So because I have three words that start with the same letter, I've got to figure out which one to put first. And so a lot of you probably are saying, you got to look at the second letter, which is correct. So now instead of looking at the F, I'm going to be looking at the second letter. So I have an L, a U, and an I. So then I have to go back up to my alphabet and I have to see, does L come first in the alphabet? Does I come first? Or does U come first? And when I look at that, I think, oh, I comes before L and it comes before U. So I've got to do the word that has an I in the second spot as my first letter, and that word is finish. So I want you to write the word finish in spot number 1. So now I'm ready to go on to my second word. I'm going to cross that off so I know I've used it already. So now I'm looking at FL and FU. So FL, does L or does U come first in the alphabet? There's L and there's U. So you should be saying it's the L, and that word is fly. So I'm going to write fly as my second word. And now I'm going to cross that off. And now I know that fun is going to go in the third spot because it's the last one of our F words. So continuing on in the alphabet, do I have any G words? I do not. H. I do not. I. Oh, there's a word with I. Since there's only one, I know that that must be my next word. Imagine is that word. Imagine. And I'm going to cross that off because I've used it. So write that down. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to get that written. And then we're going to continue. So now I'm at I. Are there any J words? Nope. Okay. Nope. L. M. N. O. P. Q. R. S. I do have one here and one here. So again, we need to look at the second letter. We've got an O and a T. So looking at my alphabet, there's O and there's T. So O comes before T. So now I know that soar is going to be written before stick. So I'm going to cross that off because I've used it. And then I'm going to write stick. Cross it off because I've used it. And then we're going to continue. I'll give you a little bit of time to get those written down. So now we move on to T. Do I have a T word? I do. I have tree and tumble. So both of these words, I've got to go to the second letter again because they both start with the same letter. So I go to the second letter. So I've got R and U. Here's R and here's U. R comes before U in the alphabet, so I go to that word, tree, and I write that next. Cross it off, and then I write tumble. Cross it off. So now we've gone through and we have alphabetically sorted, or ABC sorted, all of the words on our list. These words you might have heard in the story about kites. Finish, fly, fun, imagine, soar, stick, tree, tumble. Now, when you do words their way, you'll know how to do your ABC order.